Away from that, religious leaders are telling President William Ruto that he has abandoned listening to the clergy over the state of affairs in the country. The Ufangamano Joint Forum for Religious Organizations faulted the president for disobeying court orders, especially on the housing levy that they say is a misplaced priority. The historic Ufungamano House hosted a group of religious leaders who came with a loaded message dubbed "Speaking to Power." The leaders were here to express their displeasure with the government of the day, the clergy telling President William Ruto that his party's manifesto is not superior to the law.
Every person has an obligation to respect, uphold, and defend the Constitution. The structures and manifestos of political parties are not above the law and are subject to determination by the courts whenever petitions are presented.
The clergy, angered by the housing levy that the executive insists was its promise to Kenyans when they assumed office, they questioned why the government is adamant on the housing tax, yet there are so many gray areas.
Mambo ya housing levy, maadamu serikali koti zimepinga, ingekuwa vizuri wachana nayo. Wakenya saizi hawana shida ya nyumba, wana shida ya chakula, matumbo yao ndio inawasumbua zaidi. Wakenya wanashinda vile watapeleka watoto shule. Ungeangalia hizi shida, na kama utawasaidia usiwachukulie tax zao. Watu wanalia.
Unajua kuna maswali nyingi sana ambayo hatuwezi kujibu. Haya manyumba yatagawiwa kina nani na jinsi gani? Watalipa pesa ngapi? Watalipa kwa muda gani?
It is true that we had a lot of hope that this one is one of us, is in the congregation with us every Sunday. He will listen. But then, as things are, I will not say that he's not listening to church leaders, but he's listening to some church leaders, and maybe church leaders who are telling the president what he wants to hear, not what is the reality on the ground.
The religious leaders noted the continued disregard of court orders, saying it's a threat to constitutionalism.
Ni kwa kuwa wanaomzunguka rais wanamdanganya. Huende kawa rais Ruto ndio rais peke yake Kenya, hata Moi kuwa kama yeye, hata Uhuru kuwa kama yeye, hata Kibaki kuwa kama yeye. Huenda kawa wanaomzunguka wote ni warongo na matapeli.
The book of Joshua chapter 1 and verse 8. Joshua was instructed never to turn away from the law, to the right or to the left. That way, the people of God will get good success. For the nation to be successful, it is important for the head of state to uphold the rule of law, the Constitution, the law of God, and the law of the people.
The joint group has since submitted its memorandum to State House. The Office of the Chief Justice, Parliament, and the ESCC has also raised an alarm over the cases of corruption.
The fight should be escalated to the level where those who engage in corruption, big or small, face the law firmly and rapidly.
They now want all the three arms of government to respect the rule of law. The Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers Union has demanded for a refund of the housing levy deduction from teachers' January pay. KUPPET Secretary General Akelo Misori said on Wednesday TSC cannot give an excuse by saying the deduction happened because they had already prepared the payroll. He said they had seen payslips of a number of teachers indicating the levy was deducted. Misori said the court ruling came in a good time to allow TSC to make appropriate changes to the payroll. He said the move by TSC to deduct teachers the illegal levy shows the commission was willing to disobey the law.
KUPPET demand the immediate release of the legally deducted taxes to teachers. We have also sought an assurance from the commission that it will obey court orders, government court orders going forward, including specifically the orders on the housing tax.
Nonetheless, the National Environment Civil Society Alliance of Kenya is warning that the disputed affordable housing program could have major effects on the environment.
Due to the demand for natural resources such as water, if you are building 10,000 houses, you need a lot of water for cement and for concrete. Then you need sand, a lot of sand. You will need timber and quarry stones, just to mention a few materials. The bill should be taken through a strategic environment assessment. That's our view, to determine the probable impact of the affordable housing program on communities and the environment.
The alliance that brings together over 100 civil societies noted that the project will lead to mass displacement of Kenyans in areas earmarked for the project. This came as the alliance noted that the government was keen on job and revenue creation in the project while disregarding environmental effects.
We are also saying that when a society is under immense economic pressure, which the society in Kenya is under at the moment, then people tend to exploit natural resources, such as wood for charcoal and bush meat. You'll find that parks are in trouble if people become poorer. They'll hunt. Because they can't afford meat in the butchery, they'll go and hunt for zebra and hunt for gazelle, and therefore destroy our natural heritage. We're also saying that Kenya has been at the forefront of championing climate change mitigation and adaptation measures. You saw a few weeks ago or a few months ago, the whole of Africa was here talking about climate change at the African Climate Change Summit. Then we also went and participated in the Conference of Parties in Dubai, in the Emirates. And we have been championing climate change mitigation and adaptation measures.
Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition leader Raila Odinga has proposed a national dialogue as a way out of the housing levy impasse. Mr. Odinga is pushing for a national engagement, which he says will bring in experts from around the world to provide a clear roadmap on how to implement the affordable housing project and finance it.
Hatutaki tena kusikia mambo ati upende usipende. Hii ilienda na nyayo. Kwa hivyo sisi wa Kenya kama mnataka tufanye hii maneno, watu waketi chini. Let us have a proper dialogue, a national dialogue of how this program is going to be rolled, so people own it properly. Let people understand what you want to do. Then it will be owned.
Now you go asking poor people who have nothing, they are not able to build a house. Civil servants who can even not afford a mortgage, you are telling them, pay money, we build you a house. Kwa sababu lengo ni pesa, watu, hiyo ni biashara ya watu. Kuna watu wameambiwa kwa kila simiti, utapata hii.
And all those who are trying to force that illegal housing levy, tunawaambia kwanza vile mahakama imeamua, we want them to cease deducting money from Kenyans. Mara moja.
I chaired the last NESC meeting in February 2013. It has not been held up to today. So this is running around without any think tank, no thinking, just tutafanya hii, tumeandika katika manifesto yetu, but nobody is thinking. This regime is moving like a blunt person in the highway. It is very unfortunate.
Elsewhere, opposition leader Raila Odinga has accused President William Ruto of planning to defy a court ruling against the deployment of police to Haiti.
So this is running around without any think tank, no thinking, just tutafanya hii, tumeandika katika manifesto yetu, but nobody is thinking. This regime is moving like a blunt person in the highway. It is very unfortunate.
Mr. Ruto said on Tuesday the mission could go ahead as soon as next week if all the paperwork was done to satisfy the demands of the court.
We already have a bilateral relations with Haiti. All that needs to be done now is for Haiti to make a request to Kenya, and the mission will go ahead. So that mission can go ahead as soon as next week if all the paperwork is done between Kenya and Haiti on the bilateral route that has been suggested by the court.
Last November, the Kenyan Parliament ratified the deployment of 1,000 police officers to lead a multinational force in Haiti, where gangs are attempting to expand their territorial control.
And pursuant to the provisions of Article 248A, this House approves the deployment of the officers of the National Police Service to the multinational security support mission to Haiti. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? Nay. The ayes have it.
The court also said there must be a reciprocal agreement between the two countries before the deployment. Delivering the ruling, Justice Chacha Mwita praised Kenya's offer to deploy police to Haiti, but said it needed to be carried out within the law.
A reading of the petition and the relief sought that the petitioner seek from this court, it is clear that they seek interpretation of the Constitution and the law to determine whether the position taken by the petitioners is correct or not, whether police officers can be deployed out of Kenya, and whether the impunity sections are unconstitutional are issues that only the court can determine and not Parliament.